Hi Hornets, it's Miss Jancy. I'm super excited to do morning meeting this morning. I know we normally do awards on Friday, but we're going to do a couple quick announcements and then something that's really important in October that I wanted to talk about today. Our first quick announcement is about AP registration. So many of our students take AP exams, so this is really important. The deadline to register for the May exams is coming up quick. It's only 1 week away on Friday, October 29th. You'll use this Google form here, CGHS AP Orders 2021, to register for your exam. If you don't submit a form for the class that you want to take the test in, we won't order you an AP exam and you won't be able to take it. Some common questions we get: $96 for non-free and reduced lunch students and $16 for free and reduced lunch students. There's a $40 late registration or cancellation fee, so it's really important to be thinking about if you want to take the exam. If you're worried about paying for the exams, we know that they're expensive, but we don't want that to be a reason you don't take the exam. Email Ms. Walcott and we can work with you and your family to figure out a solution. AP exams are not required for AP courses at CGHS. It is really up to you and your family if you decide you want to take an exam. And if you're not sure if you should take one, email your AP teacher, your advisor, your college counselor, Ms. Walcott, to discuss the pros and cons. If you're unhappy with your AP score, you can always have that removed before colleges see it. Second important announcement that we're going to go through today is about mandatory tutoring. This is a reminder that mandatory tutoring happens Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday throughout the week. Mondays are science and Spanish, Tuesdays are English and creative core, Thursdays are math and history. This is a really important time for our students in our school. Our school is an excellent school and we have excellent academic outcomes, and one of the reasons for our excellence is mandatory tutoring. This is a chance for you to stay, get some extra time with your teacher, get additional support, as well as a chance to increase your grade, which will not only help you do better on a future test, but raise your grade in the moment. This is not optional for 9th through 11th grade students. If you are assigned MT, you need to be attending, and that's because we want to support you with an academic gap we've seen or to give you some extra one-on-one time. Mandatory tutoring on Friday is called Makeup Day. This is a really important time for you to take any missing formatives or summatives you have. Formatives or summatives are huge parts of your grade, and it's really, really important that if you are missing those, you attend MT on Friday to make them up. If you skip Makeup Day without being excused, you might lose your chance to take that missing formative or summative, which can directly impact your grade. It is really, really important that you attend. What you need to do right now is ensure that you can stay for after-school interventions. If you play a sport, check with your coaches, check with your family, your work schedule. Make sure that you can be staying until 4 every day in case you are signed up. Remember to be on time. Doors close at 3:30, and if you are not in tutoring, you are late and won't be able to attend. So it's really essential that you are there the full time. Check your email and advisory every morning. You get notifications if you are signed up for tutoring, and you may get them anytime throughout the week so that you can plan your schedule. If you have a conflict and can't attend, make sure you're connecting with your teacher and have a parent call you to excuse you and reschedule your MT time. It's essential that you get that extra support if you are signed up, and we want to make sure we're following up. And then last, attend and watch your grade rise. All right. The last thing I want to make sure that we talk about today is something really exciting for October month. October is LGBT History Month. I know that many of you associate June with this month. June is LGBT Pride Month, but October is the History Month. And I wanted to share the history of an important event, which is actually the reason that Pride Month occurs in June. This is something I didn't learn about until after college, and I wish that I had learned and known about sooner. That is the history of the Stonewall riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising, which happened June 28, 1969. So you can see some images here, but the Stonewall riots began in the early hours of June 28, 1969. And this happened when the New York City police raided the Stonewall Inn. And this was a gay club located in Greenwich Village in New York City. You can see a picture of it here on the left. The raid sparked a riot among bar patrons and neighborhood residents because police hauled out employees and patrons of the bar, and it led to a series of 6 days of protests and violent clashes with law enforcement outside of the bar. This bar is located on Christopher Street, and this happened on the streets and the neighboring streets as well as in Christopher Park. The Stonewall riots are really important because they served as a catalyst for the gay rights movement in the US and around the world. Some important context. In the 1960s and preceding decades, really were not welcome times for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender communities in America. Because of this reason, the LGBT community really flocked to gay bars and clubs, which were a place of refuge where they could express themselves openly and socialize without worry. One of the things that happened, though, is that the New York State Liquor Authority penalized and shut down some of those bars that served alcohol to known or suspected LGBT individuals. And they argued that the mere gathering of gay individuals was quote unquote disorderly. So thanks to some activist efforts, those regulations were overturned and LGBT patrons could then be served alcohol. But engaging in certain behaviors in public, like holding hands or dancing with someone of the same sex, was still illegal for gay individuals. And so police harassment at gay bars continued throughout the 1960s. Nevertheless, Stonewall Inn became really important and an institution in Greenwich Village. It was large and relatively cheap to enter. It welcomed drag queens who received not great receptions at other gay clubs and bars. It was sometimes a nightly home for runaways and homeless gay youth. And it was one of the few, if not only, places that still allowed dancing in gay bars in New York. So what happened was on the morning of the 28th, armed with a warrant, police officers went into the club, roughed up patrons, and arrested 13 people, including employees and patrons of the bar, as well as people considered to be violating the state's gender-appropriate clothing statute. People were fed up with the constant police harassment and social discrimination, and so people hung around outside the bar, and rather than disperse when this raid happened, they became increasingly agitated, and as the events unfolded, what happened was an officer hit a lesbian on the head and as he forced her into a police van. She shouted out to onlookers to act, and that led the crowd to really rise up, throw objects, and within a couple minutes, there was a full-blown riot involving hundreds of people. And though Stonewall and the uprising at Stonewall didn't start the gay rights movement, it was a really galvanizing moment for LGBT political activism. It led to numerous gay rights organizations, including the Gay Liberation Front, the Human Rights Campaign, and other organizations that supported the gay community. 1 year later, on the 1-year anniversary of the riots, thousands of people marched in the streets of Manhattan from the Stonewall Inn to Central Park, and they called it Christopher Street Liberation Day. And it was actually America's first gay pride parade. In 2016, Barack Obama, when he was president, designated Stonewall Inn, the site of the riots, Christopher Park, surrounding streets and sidewalks, a national monument in order to recognize the area's contributions. And it was the first LGBTQ landmark in the nation. It's now been over 50 years since the riots, but it's still a really important piece of history in the LGBTQ community, and it really served as a tipping point for the gay rights movement in the US. If you're interested in learning more during this month, I really encourage you to watch the PBS video called The Stonewall Uprising on YouTube. It is incredibly interesting and informative, and I encourage you to continue to learn more about LGBTQ history during the month of October and throughout the year. We'll have a couple more morning meetings that address this topic as well, but super excited to get to talk to you about it today. Happy Friday, Hornets, and have a great day.